Hey guys, Michelle from Michelle's Craft Corner here, and today we're making this really lovely sunset sailboat card featuring the Under the Moon stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is in the big annual catalog. And the star of this show is basically our wonderful blending brushes. We're going to do some fun blending to get that beautiful background color. I also, for my sentiment, grabbed a sentiment from Unbounded Love, which is a really good versatile one. A lot of really great stuff on here. So if you're not feeling may all your wishes come true, you could easily switch this to a happy birthday, sympathy, whatever you want, or just grab another sentiment from another stamp set you might have. So we've got a bunch of different colors on here. So today I used Lemon Lolly. I don't know if that's showing up. Okay, so Lemon Lolly, okay. Poppy Parade, Summer Splash, one of our new in colors, Night of Navy, and Basic Gray. You could also do the light gray as well. The gray is just for the clouds. All right. Our card base is our wonderful, outside, okay, our wonderful basic white. And so we're just getting a standard card base for the background. And then also just a simple piece cut at, okay, making sure, yep, 3 3/4 by 5. So very standard background piece, and you could of course make it bigger or smaller. And then I just did a little tiny strip for the words. This is like a 1 inch by 2.5. Okay, so very straightforward. Actually, just put that there, that off to the side. Okay, so the other, besides the blending brushes, which I have a mix of sizes. This is our original size, and this is the smaller one. So you can see, you can do either. If you only have one size for this, it's totally fine. Doesn't matter either way. But this way you can kind of see. I kind of personally like to dedicate a brush to a color because I find that I tend to use the same colors and I'm too lazy to wash them. But you can wash them. I have heard from other demonstrators that the color does wash out. Some like Dawn liquid soap, and then you can change it to whatever color, but I am too lazy to do that, so I have dedicated brush colors. But the other star of the show, and I just bought this, I was kind of sleeping on this in the catalog, to be honest, is the Stampin' Up masking paper. Now these come in sheets of 5 by 7. It's a pack of 12, and when you get it, let me show you here. Let me pull one out. So it is, yes, just a standard 5 by 7 size, but what's nice is it's got a perforated, I don't know if you can see that, for the stickiness. So you can cut it, oh, that is a shorter piece. Ha! That is not a full 5 by 7. That's one I cut. Okay, yeah, that's one I cut. It's a little longer than that. I just realized, like, this is small. Anyway, so when you get it, it's a nice long piece. I have a piece sticking to my finger. Get it off. Okay. And you can cut it to mask whatever you want. So kind of think of it like a giant Post-it note, but the whole back is sticky. It's great. So we're going to be using that in a minute for our horizon line, just to get that nice crisp line, and you can reuse it a little bit too. My only thing is just be very careful when you're peeling it off. We'll get to that in a second, but really loving this. I'm planning to use more for other projects in the future because, as I said, I was sleeping on it. So all you need to do is just take a piece, and we don't need a full sheet for this. So I just cut like 1/3 of mine off. I could probably even get away with a little less, but you just basically want that straight line for the length of your card. So the 5 inches. So I'm going to reuse the one that I had earlier because you can reuse them. And that is my nice straight line up there. So hopefully that will show up really good. And the camera, let's go right about there. Just give it a nice press all the way across. I'm gonna move my example over there. So let's get inking up here. All right, so we're gonna start with our yellow and the top part of our sky first and go from there. So I'm just gonna, when I ink up, This came up in a class recently. I like to kind of do little swirls around on the ink pad to kind of get it good and saturated. You can do more or less, but that's kind of my technique. So for this, we're doing the sun kind of in the middle. So we're gonna start in the middle and just kind of swirl that out. You can always add more if it's too light, but you know, when it comes to this kind of blending, it's good to just kind of build to the color you want and not go super heavy if you're not sure. And I like to add a little bit more yellow because I'm going to blend the red around it, so it kind of just gives it that nice kind of orangey fade. Okay. So just kind of little circles just like that, and I think that's good, so I'll put that up. So one color down, yet again, that one is the Lemon Lolly. Next, we're going to come in with the Poppy Parade. Same thing. Circles. I might need to re-ink this one. Okay. And then for this color, I like to kind of come from the outside in. So by the time I get to the middle, it's not that super contrast dark. So we're just going to kind of do circles, just kind of bring it down. See? And by the time you get to where it meets up, you don't have a super saturated brush and it kind of just blends really nicely. See what I mean? You get kind of that orangey look. Here we go. And then I'm going to go a little darker right here, just to kind of build that a little bit. There we go. So you can kind of see, you can add more, but you get the idea. I think that's pretty good for now. So move it on to our next color. So now we have our basic sunset. We're gonna go ahead and very carefully peel off our masking paper. Kind of like to do it at a little bit of an angle, but just the main thing is just don't go super fast. Okay, and then we're gonna take it and we're gonna flip it. You can tell I've really used this piece. And we're gonna just stick it right over where we just were. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact, but you do want it kind of close. All right. Mine is a little worn, so it's kind of hard to line up. There we go, okay. Okay. So now we're gonna hop over to our Summer Splash, doing the same thing that we did on the top, kind of going light and doing the darker. I'm gonna turn it a little bit. Okay, so. Now, the bottom does not have to be quite as nice and neat, because keep in mind we're gonna be stamping those waves right over it. So if it's a little swirly or messy, that's kind of why I'm not really worried about it too much right here. Just keep that in mind. All right, be sure you do want to get that edge though, so we don't have any white lines. Okay. All right, so, oh, I took it off the block. Okay. While I have that Summer Splash out, re-block up my waves because for some reason they got taken off. All right, so while we have the Summer Splash out, we're going to use that to stamp our watery waves. Now it's better to see on the stamp set. It has kind of like a lighter side and it kind of triangles. For this, it does not really matter which direction you stamp it. Because it's going to be bigger than our card either way. And we're going to kind of stamp it a little all over. So suffice it to say, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can really go either way. You can go this way if you want, or you can go upside down. You can blend it about, so it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to kind of stamp that a little bit all over. You'll see it just kind of makes it pop a little bit. We're gonna follow up with that Night of Navy in a minute, and that'll kind of blend it a little bit better. Okay. Just kind of gives it some streakiness, some lines. All right, now we move on to our last blue, the classic Night of Navy. If you don't have a Night of Navy in your just color stash, I highly recommend it. This is one that I always am finding that I go to. So yet again, just like we did the red, I'm gonna do the blue on the edge and just kind of pull it in around the sides. Oh, I hope I'm not shaking the camera. I'm realizing, maybe I'll just try to go a little softer on the table. Apologize if I shook the video. Maybe it's just the blending brush is shaking on the table next to me. And everybody's will look a little different just depending on how you blend it and if you wanted to do different shades of blue. But the main thing for this one is just hit those edges. Sure, the bottom is darker and there's not like white space anywhere. That's looking pretty good. Almost happy with it. Okay. All right, good enough. All right. So we've got that. Now, before we close our ink pad, we're gonna go ahead and stamp our words and our extra nautical pieces. And those are all in the Night of Navy. So it kind of ties it in. It looks like it's black, depending on the lighting, but the Night of Navy just kind of gives it a little bit more of a softer look, I think. There we go. Come here. Okay. Off to the side. And then before I stamp my sailboat and dolphins, I'm gonna peel this off. Yet again, nice and slow and easy. Okay, I got a little bit of a white edge. Doesn't bother me too much, but if it does bother you, if you get a little bit of a white edge, you can always take that yellow and just kind of hit it a little bit more. That is the softest color, so it should be the easiest one to just kind of sneak in there. Actually, I need to, the brush is kind of dry. So this one is coming out a little bit more vibrant than our example. Go a little heavier on the brush, but I don't mind it. Okay, I feel like I opened it, but didn't actually put any ink on it. It just kind of takes that white line down a little bit. Maybe gives the water a little more green, that's fine. There we go. Okay, so that kind of just blended that white out. All right, so. All right, next thing, we're gonna go ahead and grab our little dolphins. Oh, they're so cute. And our sailboat. You can really stamp the sailboat anywhere, but I kind of like it kind of a little bit towards the middle personally. Just stamp him up here where you can kind of see the sails. Okay. And then got both the single dolphin and the double dolphin swimming. So I'm gonna do the doubles first. Kind of make it look like they're jumping. Go. And then that there. Then the little one, I'm just gonna kind of tip him down so it looks like he's diving. So they're just basically not jumping the same way. Ooh, it'll come off. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, and of course you can add more dolphins if you want. I mean, they're adorable, so why not? All right, and that is the end of the Night of Navy, so we're gonna put that away. And our last thing on here is the clouds, and then just kind of putting it together. So I'm gonna grab the basic gray. If you don't have basic gray, you could do something similar with the black and just stamp off, or with the lighter gray and just stamp it over a couple times. So I'm just gonna, and there's 2 cute clouds in this set. You could do either. I'm using this kind of cute one, not that one. I probably said that wrong, but you get the idea. All right, and we're just gonna stamp some clouds, and that kind of just helps break up all that sunset. I'm gonna stamp over this one, make him a little darker. There we go. That's the nice thing about the photopolymer. If you want to make it darker, you can just line it up and stamp it right on top. If you don't line it up perfectly, they're clouds, so it kind of gives a little bit of a haze, which isn't bad. Oh, there we go. We'll do just a little edge of a one up here. Oh, okay, we get the idea. Clouds, check. So you can see with this one that I did for you guys, I went a lot kind of darker with the coloring, a little heavier with the blending, but it is the exact same technique and colors. I just went a little darker. All right, so now let's get our card base. I'm gonna put it all together, quick and easy. Grab my glue, grab my stamped box. Oh, don't tell me I grabbed the one that's empty. I grabbed the one that's empty. Let's try that again. Okay. There we go. Smudge on that. There we go. So we're just gonna glue it down to where it has that nice little edge all the way around, if you can see that. Okay, and then our words. Yeah, I didn't intend to make it this much darker than the original, but I kind of like how it does show the same idea can come out a little differently. Okay. Just glue that down. And then all optional, I did add some embellishments on mine. We have a lot of really pretty embellishments. You can just add a couple little gems. So I did that with this one to kind of match the blues. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna do it on this one. It's already so bold. Maybe the yellow. I'll do some yellow. Oh, it's gonna be hard with these nails. Let's see. Okay. Time for embellishment hacks, which my take your pick tool is in the other room. That would be my go-to, but oh well, it doesn't need embellishments. I'll do that later when I don't have these nails on. But one of the techniques, I'm not very good at it because I don't normally do it this way, is you can take the embellishments with scissors, with the snips. Oh, there we go, there's one. Wink. And use that to place. So I've seen some demonstrators do that. But honestly, the take your pick tool with that pokey, sticky end is kind of my favorite. So, but this does work. So I'll do maybe a little one. But I hope you guys like this card. I just think it turned out really pretty. Here we go. As always, all the products used in today's video will be in the product video description below with direct links to my Stampin' Up store. If you're interested in a Stampy Box, there will be a link to stampyboxes.com as well on there. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let me know, did you like the light version or the darker, bold version better? We'll see you guys soon. Bye.